Happy Chainsaw Man Day! We are back yet again for some more Chainsaw Man reactions. This is chapter 176, so this should be some fantabulous situations going on within this chapter here today. So, as you already talked about theories and speculations from last week's review reaction that we did, all I'm gonna say is Asa/Yoru is gonna do something, and it's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna be goated with the sauce. Okay, that's what I'm just hoping here, anyways. All right, I'm expecting something from Asa/Yoru, which is why I even put the title as I did, because I'm just expecting it. Okay, all right. All I ever do is guess at these titles, and if I get them right, then god dang, I'm a goat. But as you already know, go to Shonen Jump. You can read it there for free. It is not going to cost you any kind of money to just read it there. So please go over there, read it with us so we can have a lot of action together. If you already read it, please don't spoil it until we get to the actual discussion portion of the whole situation, because once you go over there, we start talking about it. All right? Desto, Tab, welcome in. Big Woke, I sees you. Yoru fans are happy. I'm looking forward to it then, if that's the case here. I want to be happy too. I am a Yoru/Asa fan, so like I want this. But these are big things you're saying here, Desto. So we're gonna find out. Can we get much higher? So high. I hope so. All right, Fujikoto. We need this. All right, I got two of the predictions right for this chapter. All right, we're gonna talk about this. Woke. We're gonna talk about this. But welcome in though. All right, guys. I think it's time. I think it's game time. Let's get into this. The live reaction, shall we? Chainsaw Man chapter 176, Two Children. Curious of what that title means exactly, because were we not talking about children getting bodied for the freaking age devil and all that? We're not gonna get into all that. We're gonna keep going here. We're gonna keep going here. Also, it looks like we're going a little back in time here. We see. It looks like it's Yoru using her ability, and she is able to push the soap to her. Almighty push, to bring it to herself, and then she made a soap sword out of it. A sword of soap. Soap sword. Now, I mean, how much damage is that gonna do in the first place? I mean, that's pretty impressive that she can be able to do something like that in the first place. Like we were talking about before, she don't really have to touch anything to be able to actually utilize her ability. So this is just a nice little reminder to show you, yes, she can do exactly this. So I'm glad we're seeing that firsthand. Okay, universal pull, exactly. All right, it's clean fighting out here. Exactly. Look, Mr. Clean, you might need to step your game up, because Asa got you. Break next week. Oh, here we go. Get the bad news out. Of course, it's a break next week. If he's gonna cook this chapter, then look, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We're used to this at this point. As fans and as readers of Chainsaw Man, we're used of the bi-weekly devil attacking us all the time, right? Mr. Clean Devil next. Hey, look, like that guy's bald. He's gonna walk by and be like, bald the whole time. You're gonna be shined by the brightness of his head, okay? Watch yourself. Yeah, there's a break, apparently. I thought so. When I turned my apartment into a weapon, I could do it without saying a name. We can turn things into weapons without naming or touching them. It probably still isn't enough to beat Chainsaw Man, though. Again, going back to this relationship that they have, look how they're just, like, really thinking about this and just discussing it. You see that? Like I said, these two are just, like, they're just there. They're just there. And like I said, this just reaffirms what if there's any confusion, which, I mean, I was a little confused initially at first, right? So if there's any confusion, this pretty much clears that up, that, yeah, they can do this without even saying a word. So I like the fact that they showed this in this chapter, all right? Is it 14 days? Oh, there it is. Yep, see, there it is. Especially appears to be right after the prison break. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Let me see. Not a day passed without news of another pseudo Chainsaw Man killing someone. Whenever I'm feared, Chainsaw Man continues to be feared at the same time. I mean, understandably so. I mean, that's just the name of the game currently in the state that we're in, so you kind of can't avoid that. All right? But if you bury the hatchet, defeating Dingy won't make you happy anyways, right? Interesting. Okay, hold on a minute. Everyone remembered war's terrors just like you wanted. Can't you just say you already achieved your goal? I mean, yes, actually. In a way, Okay, I see what we're doing here. I'd expect this. Okay, hold on, man. Hold on, man. See, this is the kind of conversations I've been looking for. Okay, Fujimoto, hold on a second. See, now I'm invested. Hold on a second. Before Shadow was great, yeah, because you're brought it out a dozen chapters ago. Yeah, how cool is that? She stated that she doesn't need to call her power, so mouth makes no. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was a shadow. That was foreshadowing. Yes. I mean, like I said, Fujimoto does be. He can be cooking. It's just that, you know, people be like, they don't be seeing the subtleties of what he does, and sometimes you always got to bring it back to the forefront to see that, hey, Fujimoto, he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing, and this is also a good conversation to have right here. There's something I want to reclaim from Chainsaw Man. And what's that? My comrades were eaten by him. If I can just make him vomit them back up. Interesting. So it's like, you don't technically have... So, like, the goal here isn't necessarily for her to just kill Chainsaw Man altogether. She just wants her comrades back. I mean, theoretically speaking, that's only going to make it to where she's so strong that she probably could try to take out Chainsaw Man. But that's besides the point, right? Like, this is not the main goal necessarily here. Okay. Do you have a way to beat Chainsaw Man? 2. There are 2 weapons I can make. Just 2 that will be far more powerful and fearsome than yours. Then why didn't you make them in the first place? I gave up even my home and my college fund to make weapons. I mean, you ain't necessarily wrong with that either, because I mean, you put a lot into this to make these really powerful weapons, and it still wasn't enough though. It still wasn't enough, all right? I feel like Asa and Yoru had a dozen conversations like this that we have. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? And this is what I appreciate what we're seeing right here. This is already a W chapter just for the fact that we're actually seeing like this kind of, like, we're seeing the inner thoughts of the conversations that they're having, and this back and forth of what they're sharing when it comes to idealism and just what the goal is here at the end of the day. And I like that we're actually showcasing this. This is very important. I like this. Oh, here we go. You're accomplishing your goal. Reminds me how Aki never got his wish of defeating the gun devil because it was captured years ago. But yeah, and like I said, like the way that was like set up for Aki, it was pretty much like it was a lose-lose situation. Like he was never gonna actually be able to get that revenge or to be able to even complete that goal in any capacity. It was never gonna be the case here. But with Yoru, not so much. All right. Don't compare them to such trifling things. Turning those 2 into weapons would run counter to saving my comrades. Then just stop. But I want to beat Chainsaw Man. I want to beat him and prove that I'm the more fearsome devil. I get anything for that. Interesting. Okay, so she's also trying to prove herself. Like I said, she has a complex. This goes back into like the beginning stages of what part 2 was even all about. Right? Like, or what we've seen from Yoru. Like, I don't know, she has a certain kind of complex that's here, that it's like she needs that kind of recognition. She wants people to recognize that she's powerful. She wants that. I mean, that's why it's kind of funny how Asa was kind of like eating it up when the fans are like around her and stuff. Like people are like, yeah, cheer for her and everything, because she liked that kind of admiration. So it's the same thing on your side. She wants that recognition a bit here, that she can do this. Like she can be the number 1 devil. It's very interesting. Not the college fund. Hey, look. It is what it is, man. Look, do you really even need that, man? College is overhyped. Stop. So got her wish, but never earned it. Yeah, exactly. She never earned that. I also won't need to go to college. She can absorb the Bitcoin devil. Tab, really? All right. Also, I'm not that different. Yeah, no, they're very. That's what I'm seeing here. Like they're very, very, very similar. They're very similar. That's why. But at the same time, well, no, because again, this is early stages. So like, even if they were to like more like mold together more, then yeah. But no, they seem to be almost on the same page in that same sense, even from the beginning. That's why, like, honestly, this host that Yoru was capable of getting here was the perfect host to have, because they work in tandem with each other with how they are. So I see this. For that, would I even turn my own children into weapons? Well, I guess I would. Oh. Hello? Excuse me? What you talking about? Come to mother. Tank. Gun. Wait, what that? Gulf of Mexico Devil Containment Facility. Wait, what? What? Mount Everest Soviet Union. What? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Because she did damage, first off. Secondly, I mean, I didn't know that magnetic pull she had can go that far. What? Hello? That's insane. So she got the gun devil? She got the gun devil in the tank devil? Wait, how does the tank devil work? Because look at she got her hands back too. Yeah, 28% of the guns. Yeah. Because they were all spread apart and everything. So yeah, there were still some there. So this is not like the full capabilities of the gun devil, but still, it's still 28% of it. That's still good. That's still freaking good. Welcome in, Anna. Welcome in. Freaking the Bitcoin devil. I am not the Bitcoin devil. What are you talking about? Yours was a MILF? Yes. That's what I said. And the rest was scattered. Yeah, exactly, right? That's so freaking cool. What? Left tank gauntlet. Right gun gauntlet. Excuse me. Look at them hands. I guess in a way it was a good thing that she lost those hands because she got two very powerful hands to replace the one she lost. Excuse me. That's impressive. Also, y'all, you freaking cooking out here. Again, the damage that was dealt here is impressive. Okay, this is a lot of damage that was done to Denji here. This is about to be interesting. Okay, this is not what I expected. This is not what I expected because this puts her in the runnings of being able to actually keep up with him. Then This opens up some stuff here. Okay, this is a good chapter. this is freaking good. Okay, we gotta talk about this, guys. Okay, come on now. Turn gun and taking the arm gauntlets. Well, yeah, Full Alchemist style, exactly, man. Let's go. You know, man. I can't. And what happened to Aki's body with that percentage? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. Granted, I mean, well, I wonder, because I mean, he's technically was a fiend at that point, right? So could she have control over that? Like, because where is the body then, right? Like there's still guns within him. So like, could she? Because I mean, it depends. Like, how far can she do this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm very curious of like the limitations of what her powers can do. Because this is, again, that's pretty freaking far to be able to bring these devils to her like this. This opens up a lot of questions when it comes to Yoru's capabilities at this point. Again, going back into what she's even able to do, because this is impressive. This is very impressive. Me getting the boom hand, exactly, getting the boom hands. All right. Can she keep those weapons? We never see weapons being. Well, I mean, I want to say I mean, in a way, yes. I haven't, because all the weapons she's had thus far, haven't they like broke at some point? As I'm thinking about it. And even then, like, I don't think she really ever keeps the weapons that she actually creates a lot of the times. In this particular instance, too, because they're attached to her, I don't think she would, like, let her ability go to lose said weapons. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure, in a way, I would consider it permanent. She always have to have an active, like, idea that the ability is always there. I like to think so, anyways. So that's my interpretation for this. Gun Devil's beef with the Makima in part 1 makes a lot of sense now. Wait, oh, I was gonna say how so. Actually, I just pieced together because I mean that's her children. Again, the sisters have issues with each other in the first place. So yeah, this does make sense. That does make sense. Interesting, very interesting. Okay. This is what you mean. So for part 1 and some of the ramifications for it, it opens up. See what I'm saying? Okay, I see what we're doing here. That's freaking cool. You split up the mouth devil. Wait, you did? Oh wait, is that what that thing was? Oh, true. Yeah, that is the mouth. Oh, true. Yeah, 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 yeah. You're right. Yeah, her mouth's back, and that's why she was able to talk. True. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, she has capabilities of actually getting him to spit stuff out. Interesting. So, a little random idea. I mean, if she's capable of being able to make Chainsaw Man spit out devils, how far is this gonna go? Can she be able to revert and get the nuclear war devil out of him? Like, how many devils can she pop out of this dude before, like, the situation gets even worse than this? Like, I wonder about that, because, like, what if the entire plan then is for Asa to actually overwhelm him to a point where he spits all these devils, he starts to starve at that point because he's losing food, and that's when family can probably jump in and maybe take full control over him at that point. Is that the idea of where we're trying to go here? Because, I mean, the fact that she has the ability, the capabilities, and the strength to do so gives the idea that could be the case here. So interesting. Hey, you Mr. Reed. Hey, Peach, it's all good. It's all good, but we are currently talking about theory craftings when it comes to the chapter here. But welcome in. Welcome in. What do you think of the chapter? I like to know. I like to know, all right? Can you see... I supported Gojo. He lost. I supported Puchita. He's about to lose. I'm stressed. Wait, don't be stressed. Look. We don't know what else Puchita has in store here. He is taking a lot of damage, but at the same time, we'll see what he, because like I said, I won't say he seems like he's weaker here. It's hard to tell. Like, again, Yoru / Asa is a freaking threat at the end of the day, and I didn't realize how big of a threat she actually is, but god dang, she is powerful. So this should just be a very interesting battle to see regardless of what's going on here. And I want to see what else Denji / Bushida can even do in this situation right now. Because the way this is looking, this can easily be one of those situations where he's getting, like, overpowered. It's weird to say, because I sat here and kept saying for the last couple of chapters, like, who the heck is even going to stop this dude? Like, in this form that we see of /Denji / Bushida, how are we supposed to stop this? Because this sucker's strong as heck. But we're seeing right now, the possibilities right now is kind of endless. Like, man, that's why anytime I'm gonna use Bane, bunch of the, oh, really? I mean, because, like, the thing is, they never so there's some abilities with Makima that was just never really explained of why she was able to do what she was able to do. That could be one reason to explain how she's able to do it. This is very reminiscent of what Makima was doing in part 1. Bro, I would love to see if that's actually, like, if that theory it becomes true, if that's how she was able to use the bang attack in the first place. Because I didn't understand how she was able to do that exactly. But that would make a lot of sense. I mean, again, the gun devil parts were all over the place, so that would work. Interesting. Yoru is also the creator of the hybrids, but can't control the devil in them right now because Fuchida ate their designated names and authority over them. Honestly, again, you're cooking here, because that makes a lot of freaking sense. Honestly, that will only bring the beef even further beyond, because, Makima did control all of the hybrids at one point, right? Like, this could have been controlled, like a situation where Yoru and Makima were kind of butting heads because, like, these are my children that you're trying to take over. This is why I need a flashback. Like, at this point, because I need to see how the sisters were even interacting with each other in hell. I love to see just a small flashback of something along those lines, because there's so much, like, meat into this. This chapter has so much going on. It's like a 9 out of 10. I'm already jumping to the rating system already. This is a 9 out of 10 easy chapter. This is a really freaking good chapter. Holy freaking man. All right. Someone got sold out the war devil to capturing our children. I mean, yeah, possibly to have. We're totally getting nuclear weapons in the next chapter. I can see that being the case. Granted, if that is the case here, and we do get the nuclear war devil, how bad is the situation going to be then? Again, nuclear bombs. I don't think you can really use that. Like, you're going to blow up the vicinities around you. Like, I'm pretty sure she's at a point where she has a lot of durability that, like, for instance, as Denji slash Pochita starts fighting her, I'm pretty sure those hands that she's got, she can actually probably block the actual chainsaw itself now. So even if he's like swinging at her, she has a way of getting past that, or even grabbing the chainsaw itself. I see that being the case here. It's like Artemis Hawking in some ways, right? Like I can see her actually just being able to keep up with him now. So I wonder how this is gonna go. This is, man. But I don't see how she can use the nuclear war stuff in the first place, because like I said, the vicinity is gonna get exploded, and she can handle it. Maybe even Denji to some extent. But well, even no, I don't think so. Because wait, the amount of damage she took just based off this one hit. Never mind, I don't think so actually. So shoot, I don't know. Maybe Asa slash Yoru has more durability right now than even than Denji right now. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, Pinata in the next chapter. Come on, I don't say that. You know, so Prime Police, okay. And one panel, Yoru has emulated both Fiend, Aki, and the moment Makimo kill power is perhaps the most efficient traumatic being Denji could. I mean, that's also very true. Bro, the callbacks are insane this chapter. Excuse me? Because yeah, I see what you're talking about. Bro. It makes me wonder, is that gonna make him rage even further? Like, does he understand? Because we don't really know what's going on inside the mind of Pochita slash Denji here. Obviously, you know, we see from the callbacks and what he's taking out currently are all things that are traumatic to Denji. So the fact that Yoru in a way is kind of recalling that back, but you know, attacking back at him with that same traumatic stuff, it does make you wonder, like, is this gonna make this Pochita version like more angry here? You know what I mean? You don't really know what's going on inside the mind of Pochita Denji, but this is very interesting. You have a good point there though. Denji's hand session with Yoru look grim now. Pause. All right, or eternity could be family's child. Yes, honestly, if we're going based off of like these devils here, the four horsewomen having the children, like these are the children here. So the hybrids are pretty much like Yoru's children. I wouldn't be surprised if their eternity devil, maybe even the fallen devil in some cases goes in line maybe with Fami in some ways. I don't know. I mean, the fact that she has control over him like that. I wonder if you're so hold on a minute, because this is dawned on me. So like, because as we know, Fami has like these little like what? Can I call them talismans? I don't know if they are exactly, right? But she has these things that she's capable of summoning devils, basically, right? So she has some level of control, or whatever the case is. Like I said, like this goes more in line with what Woke was just saying with his theory. Maybe Yoru has something along the same lines and being able to bring her children out in some ways too. I don't know. It just dawned on me. It makes me wonder about that. I wonder. But I would like to think, or at least I'll subscribe to that theory that Fami has those are her children too. That would make sense. Makima using Bang on Pochita always bugged me because her control on Pochita didn't work. So Bang using gun or tank would make sense now. Yeah, like this. I feel like that opens up something, but it's like I want to confirm it. Similar how this chapter confirmed that she's capable of pulling things to her, and she don't have to actually say what the thing is to even be able to actually utilize her abilities. I like the fact that it cleared that up. So with hopefully next couple of chapters, it clears that up potentially. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I would like to just have some confirmation on it. But it's very likely. That's the case here. That's how Makima was able to do the ability here. So I'm going to control the gun or tank. That's how she got pieces of the... Yeah, exactly, right? Because, I mean, again, Makima, at the state that she was in back then, very powerful, had too much control going on there, right? She made it to where she was capable of just being invincible in a way. There's barely anybody that could stop her at the time because of how she was able to set herself up. Like, she can't die, you know what I mean? So with how she was able to set all that up, that would make sense. That would make sense to be able to put this in order to be able to do what she did here. So yeah, everyone loves flashbacks. Look, for this particular instance, I need a flashback. Like, weirdly enough, I don't think Fujimoto doesn't really do like flashbacks like that. But this will be one of those instances where I would love to see a flashback in Hell, particularly because there's just so much going on over there that I need to just see what's the makeup, what's the structure of this. I like to know. Okay. I don't know if I'm let me see how we lost comrades like nuclear war, but gun and tank are her children. Wait, what do you mean, Tav? Because, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Kuchida at the time knew that the nuclear war devil was a problem. So therefore, we gotta make sure to get that guy out the way. Get that guy out the way first. Like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if he did something like that because they were in a battle at one point, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to take out more of the powerful devils that Asa or that Yoru had at the time. You know what I mean? So I could see that being the case here. Although that Chainsaw Man is just a petty beef between sisters. Yeah, pretty much, right? That's pretty much what the story is right now. It's literal beef from way back when coming back right now and trying to fix this whole situation up, right? Because they say I ain't about that. I ain't about that, right? My coping for the week, we saw the Soviet Union Rize is from the Soviet Union. That's so, bro. When I saw that in this chapter, when she was able to bring that devil over here, I was like, bro. I mean, theoretically speaking, because Rize is around, she is something, right? Like, can't she just like maybe make her teleport over there? I'm like, get the Bond devil come by. I'm just saying, like, why not? Why stop there? Why stop there? You know, come on, bring it up, bring it in. Well, why not just go scorch earth with the nuclear war? See, but that's the thing though, Prime. I don't think Yoru wants that. That's not the game plan here. She just wants to beat freaking Chainsaw Man at the end of the day. And I don't think she's trying to blow up the entire world. Why would she do that? Like, war is to be able to dominate and be the victor of the entire thing. She wants recognition. She can't get recognition when everybody's dead. So you know what I mean? So I don't think that's what she's trying to do. I don't know how she would be able to use the nuclear war devil though. That's the thing here. I don't know if I'm ready to believe that yet. I don't know. I'm subscribing to it. Have you used like a voodoo doll, like dry jerky? Okay, I didn't know exactly what that was. I know she has something that embodies these devils here that she's able to like to summon them in the first place. So I think we saw that even with the Eternity Devil. So that's, I'm pretty sure she just has that kind of level of control. And I think they all maybe have something different, or maybe they have something that's similar to what Family uses to be able to actually bring her people here. I don't know. I don't know if you ever considered nuclear weapons one of her children. I'd like to think so. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's weapons at the end of the day. So I like to think more than likely that's one of her children here. I wonder if Makima flattening people by knowing their names was a combination of patrol, gun, and tank. I mean, Tav, it can go even further than that. I mean, it could be anything. Because like I said, she has control over multiple devils. Like it could be like a squashing devil or something that she could have had control over and was able to just utilize that ability. It doesn't have to necessarily go within tanks. I mean, tanks do run over things and it can squish stuff. So I can see that possibly being in relations to it, but I mean, it can easily just be another devil altogether that people are, afraid of getting squished, you know what I'm saying? So there could be a devil like that she had an ability to control over to be able to just use that ability. I mean, at the end of the day, it seems as though she's able to use the abilities of other devils potentially. Is what is opened up the can of worms here when it comes to Makima in part 1, and it gives us a better insight of what she's actually able to do and what she was even doing to begin with, because we never really had any clear indication of what was going on with her abilities. You'll recall what's inside her comrades, not children. So nuclear is probably not a child. Well, true. Yeah, you did say comrades. That is true. I mean, hard to say. I mean, again, I wouldn't be surprised if it's also comrades / children as well. I mean, again, they're weapons that she is capable of using, and they're there for her at the end of the day, right? I'm working backwards. Your needs people to recognize her, quoting the boys. If you get rid of the people, who's gonna build your exactly? That's what I'm saying. So like going scorched earth is not really the ideal situation to do, simply because you need people to actually idolize you, to have that recognition. That's why we were talking about before how Asa and Yoru are very similar in the sense that they both like that recognition. They like being seen and people praising them. That feeling is there. They both have that same type of feeling. So that's why they're so similar in a lot of ways, and why again, Asa is probably the best option when it comes to who she found to be able to actually take over the body with. Like, I'm pretty sure she probably don't even have the idea anymore about killing her. I don't really see that being the case here. I feel like she'd rather try to work with her as opposed to killing her at this point, because in the beginning she's like, listen to me or you die, and that's why she was afraid of her. I don't even like that no more. They are definitely like this, all right. Yeah. The theory that came out of Kuchita is the son of Death, and Yoru created the weapon hybrids based off of him. Wait, that's a theory. Interesting. Like, Kuchita is the son of Death. Huh. I mean, we all speculate that's the last. I mean, that's the last horseman. That's here, right? That would. I mean, based off of what the whole thing was talking about, like children and all that. That's not impossible. That's not impossible. And like, it goes back into the whole childbirth chainsaw. There's that theory that kind of goes within all that too. I wonder. It's hard to say yet. I don't know. It's hard to say. That is interesting. Ting, more than likely. Look, I'm not saying she is, but at the same time, look, man. Look, man. She got kids. Also having a happy ending went out the window in this chapter, in my opinion. Okay, so, I mean, I've always wanted Asa to have some level of happy ending here, but I'll be honest with you, the last couple of chapters, not even just this chapter, but the last couple of chapters has kind of really thrown that idea for me out the window. If anything, if all this goes down, I think towards the end of this whole thing, of this part 2, I don't see Asa surviving this. Like, Denji might be the one that still survives all this whole thing, because he's still main character, right? But when it comes to Asa, I can see her dying in some way here. I don't know exactly by what, but I can see her dying in some situation here. I mean, she's still technically, because I know they're fighting right now, right? And all she has to do is defeat Chainsaw Man. Not necessarily have to kill. If that was the wording, correct? She wants to defeat Chainsaw Man, if I'm not mistaken. It's not necessarily to kill him, right? But to defeat him. So if she can do that, wouldn't that kind of like finish her goal? Because you don't have to necessarily kill him to win. Let me see. Yeah, I want to beat Chainsaw Man. If she can just beat Chainsaw Man, it's like Vegeta. Vegeta always wants to beat Goku. And if Vegeta can actually fight him 1v1 and win, I think he'll be good. And this is kind of the similar situation. It's not necessarily about just killing him, necessarily. So, the idea that I have here is at some point she has to, because Asa still has feelings towards Denji, obviously, and she also still wants to be able to owe him back at some point. So, there could be a situation at hand at one point where they can even work in tandem together, and this is where like Asa / Yoru might end up dying in the situation. I don't know by what, by the prophecy, who knows, but all I'm saying is, it is not about necessarily killing Chainsaw Man, but actually dominating over him. Like, standing over there and be like, pathetic. You know what I'm saying? Like, looking like that. So, I don't know. We'll see. It would make sense for Fallen Devil, his daughter or family, giving her a chef theme. Actually, yes! Yeah, exactly, Tab. Yeah, exactly, yes. Because as you already know, she's a sucker that loves freaking food. Family can't stop eating. And having a chef as freaking the Falling Devil, she always eating good. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah, point taken, all right? MC plot armor. No, I think, look, I said, there's a way for him to still be defeated, but not die. As long as he's not dead, we can still move the story along here. And I think, like I said, this is a situation, maybe with the next couple of chapters we'll see, where we'll see Yoru legitimately actually overpower Denji, overpower Pochita, overpower the strongest form that this Chainsaw Man is. If she can do that, I think she'll be satisfied. You know what I mean? She'll be in that position of like, yes, I did that. I am him, or I am her, I should say. You know what I mean? So I can see that being the case here. You know, it's officially broke, no home or a college fund. A lot of, you know, she got no money. But do you really need money to get the dub? Do you really need money to get the dub? All right, she ain't worrying about the future. She's worrying about the now. All right, she's worrying about the now. Okay. So beats up Pochita, family jumps in, captures starves Denji. That's the plan, apparently. I think so. I think ultimately that's what the situation is at the time. And once we have control of this particular devil, then they have control of who they can erase. So the question that becomes after that point, who are they trying to erase then? Like, how is this whole thing gonna actually like pan out here? Again, we still have some time for the prophecy is actually like foretold here. So I don't know what the next steps are after that. That's where we've got to start theorizing a bit more on that. So what do y'all think though? Like, if this is where we're going, what do you think what we're going to do next after that once family has control over the Chainsaw Man Devil? Also, I think Fujimoto has left Yoshida fate up in the air, pull something crazy out of them. I think, see, this is what I'm saying. The fact that we don't know if this man's dead tells me 100% it's like alive. All right, if everybody kept thinking, oh man, Yoshida gone, no, he ain't dead. His octopus is. Sucker got 8. Maybe, well, actually, you know what? With how Asa's making him spit out other devils, maybe the octopus devil can come back. But ultimately, regardless, I don't think Yoshida's dead. I've been saying this from the beginning. We didn't see a confirmed body count or any of that kind of stuff going on, so there's a high chance this man's still alive. If we didn't see him die, I don't think he's dead. You know what I mean? He could have easily just showed that off screen, or not off screen, but like one little panel to the side showing him like in a dumpster or something. Then that would have like confirmed, yeah, he gone. But he ain't gone. Yoshida's good. Yoshida's good right now. Yoshida loses. He's the biggest fraud. How you go from handling 20v1 against horsemen, the children hybrids losing to one of the horsemen. I mean, you guys gotta remember this. So with this particular Chainsaw Man, this also has Denji's influence in him, right? Back then, when he was fighting, he was in hell. It was just himself, more than likely, I like to think, right? So there wasn't any influence with Denji's ideologies or even feelings towards Asa, mind you, right? So there could be things holding him back to even actually fight in that type of manner. And as you've seen, like I said, there is still elements of what Denji's there. All the trauma that he's been through, Puchita's trying to get rid of. So he has a goal in mind. This isn't like a free-for-all Puchita. If this is a free-for-all Puchita that had his own will to do what he wants to do, it's not a fraud thing. It's just like he's limited on what he's capable of doing potentially, right? And for all we know, too, he's not at his full peak ability either as well. Yes, people are afraid of chainsaws, but maybe he's still not at the form that he needs to be at or at the level that he should be at to be able to fight all of them like he was doing before. Because, like I said, like from what I'm telling, I don't know if this version of Puchita is stronger than the first time we seen him or not. It's hard to tell right now. So we just gotta wait and see. But I do feel like there is limitations on just this version of him that maybe is what's allowing Asa / Yoru to even do as much damage as he's doing. So that's just my idea. You know what I mean? I think that's what's going on here. You know, I could always make money working the streets. Tav. Okay, it's like the whole thing tied into Greek mythology and the god of war. Ooh, so that's freaking clean as again. Fuji be cooking, man. Actually, that makes a lot of sense because I've seen that stuff in the Greek mythology, so that makes a lot of freaking sense. I think Pochita versus Yoru is gonna mirror Makima Pochita fight. It's gonna be fire. Wait, how so exactly? How so? You think she's gonna be able to like bring up? Well, I guess in a way, technically, yes. Because, like, Makima ultimately brought up all the hybrids and stuff like that, in which allowed that fight to happen. So maybe we'll see more of her children come by, and it would in a way, mirror that, if that's the case. Which, I mean, again, that was a freaking epic fight to begin with. I liked what I saw there. So, you could be right. You cooking right there, Tav. You cooking. Tav, Yoru's birth, Orm is a... wait a sec. What if Yoru felt the death of the gun fiend? What do you mean exactly? Like, so she probably understood that fiend had died. I mean, that's not impossible. That's definitely not impossible, honestly. I can see, because again, this is well, it's hard to say, because like on one hand, I would say maybe yeah, but also remember she was at a very weakened state before she took over Asa's body. So I don't know how much strength she would have to even like feel the gun devil dying at that time, or the gun fiend dying at that time. I mean, it's not impossible though. I mean, she could even just be watching the entire situation. Maybe we need to just go back and read the chapters back again and just see if there's an owl in the background somewhere. You never really know. I doubt it, but at the same time, I mean, it's interesting, but it is neither here nor there. I just wonder if what was going on with that body. Where is that body? Because there again, there is more material that technically that she could actually consume real quick to actually bump up her abilities a bit more for herself if she wanted to. So there is that though. Some of the weapons or some of their children is forcement for Cheetah. Both their fights submit then. Let's yeah, exactly, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It is pretty much very similar. All right, very similar. I think it's interesting. Yoro and family both started making moves as soon as Makima died. It's like they were waiting for that. Oh no! 100% death though. That is just that to me is a fact. Like I said again, going back into part one, I wouldn't even be surprised by this, but this is my idea. Makima was at a point with herself because she was raised in this cruel world, and they were, you know, she was not in the best environment, but she set herself up to be unstoppable. Yoru, Fami, shoot, even the Death Devil at that point would have problems trying to beat Makima because of what she had. She was nearly unstoppable. It was only because of the requirements of what happened here that she was able to just finally like be gone. Like what Denji ultimately ended up doing, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if they saw that and it's like, we can't really do anything to our sister, so what's the point of even trying? Also, too, I'm pretty sure they're both at weakened states, you know, because we already saw they're not in their full state here, so I'm pretty sure they're also still weakened at that time, and they had to get their strength back anyways. But Makima wasn't like that, so that's why we see them how they are right now. So that makes a lot of freaking sense. That makes a lot of sense why they're now just finally making their move. I mean, he is thing. As much as I criticize at times for it's like the main problem I have with Chainsaw Man, and I feel like everybody kind of in this consensus have the same feeling. The problem with Chainsaw Man is its pacing, especially in part two. Part two has some very long wait times before things really start going down. But when things go down, things go down. You know what I mean? So like those moments where we're kind of just doing the building, it makes a lot of sense. That's why the moment when we saw Nayuta's head on that plate had more gusto, had more feelings towards it, because it was all the setup to get to that point. You know what I mean? So it's like we need time to let things cook, let it simmer, so then we have things like this happen, it makes it have more of an impactful like feeling towards it. I mean, I'm a One Piece reader, so I understand letting things cook, because you read One Piece, you already know you're gonna be there for a while. You're gonna be there for a while, and I feel like this is kind of similar to what he does. The only thing that we have a problem with at times is the fact that he's bi-weekly a lot of the times. He's not that consistent when it comes to the weekly format. And I understand taking a break here and there. Like, you know, making manga is not easy to do. So I want him to not burn himself out. So if he can take those breaks, take those breaks. But at the same time, it sucks that with slow chapters comes a week break, a 2-week break. It does break up the folds and makes it harder for you to read on a weekly basis. You know what I mean? You start to feel that drag. Now, if you're reading on volume standpoints, then actually you're good. You know what I mean? Like if you were to read, like for instance, people when they first got into Chainsaw Man, they binge read it. They weren't there initially. They weren't reading it when it first popped off. No, they read it when there was like 80 plus chapters already out. And so they had time to just actually binge read this thing and then catch up and stuff like that. And around that time, that's when things really started popping off. So they never really felt the actual effects of what his pacing actually is. So you know what I mean? So there is that. All right. Yes, I am on YouTube. I usually stream over here on YouTube for Chainsaw Man, but welcome in, Lee. Welcome in. Makes sense that Makima's gone. There is a power vacuum. Makima was keeping the doors at bay. Exactly. 100% was. Like, again, what she had set up, she was the kingpin, basically. You couldn't stop that girl. So, I mean, what are we doing here? You know, just turned 27% of the gun into a weapon because it was just in the USA. Maybe she never killed gun completely. I mean, again, the gun devil's parts are all over the place. They're legitimately all over the place. So it probably would take a minute for her to like form everything back together. Granted, you know, it's kind of insane if you really think about it. The fact that she was able to pull all that in. She brought pieces, mind you. Technically speaking, if she can get all the pieces and form them all together, I mean, the Gun Devil could come back a full 100% with her. Just saying, think about that. Because they're all scattered over the world. She can bring it all to herself, and it's in Japan. This is an idea. Just throwing it out there, right? It makes sense. See, all Fujimoto haters switched stuff out of this chapter. I know, right? They say, "Oh, he's cooking. He's cooking. He's cooking." I criticize it because I'm supposed to be reviewing it and how I feel about it and stuff like that. But at the same time, I do have a certain love for Chainsaw Man. I wouldn't buy the volumes. I wouldn't have this altar if I didn't care about this goddamn freaking manga. Because it is lit when it gets lit, okay? Yeah. Fujimoto is a writer that you have to see the full picture to appreciate. Exactly, it is. And that's what I appreciate about his writing, because it takes time. It takes his time with it. And it's like, the thing is, you don't get that anymore with a lot of manga that you read in this day and age, or just media to begin with. Everything is on a more like quick pacing type of situation, where it gives you the instant gratification as opposed to allowing something to actually build so that gratification can be even more. You know what I mean? There's a manga I'm currently reading right now called Centuria. And that manga, though good, it, in a way, I feel like hinders itself because of how quick a lot of the moments are for that manga. It's a good manga. And I will be talking about that later in a video over here on YouTube. So if you're curious about what Centuria is, I can get more in-depth conversations about that particular manga. So I might be covering that. That's a good manga, so I recommend it. But I will say, when it comes to how its story and its pacing is, it can throw you off a little bit. Makes sense. Let me see. Makes sense that Makima got the gun to make a contract with Aki. Makima was probably controlling it. That's why Yoru hates the older. Yes. Yeah, I mean, she was controlling all the weapons and all the, like, she was. The problem with Makima, I mean, she's the control devil, guys, right? The problem with Makima, and I feel like you would probably feel the same way too, right? I'm pretty sure you've been in a situation like with a supervisor or, you know, somebody that's higher up, whatever, right? They want you to do stuff, and then in a way they're kind of controlling you to do these actions. You don't particularly like that. You don't appreciate that. And I feel like the sisters saw that from freaking Makima, and just sitting like, sucker, what? And that's why Family even has a thing about control herself. Like, she wants to have some control. She wants to be able to control things, because look at Makima. Look what she was doing. She was tired of that, so she wants to have her own type of control. Yoru wants recognition. She wants to be seen that she's strong, all right? And she's stronger than her sister. Like, how dare you try to control me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can see them having an issue with her because of how she is as an individual. So yeah. Jamal haters are his most loyal readers. They keep coming back. Oh yeah, Tav. Oh yeah, look, they can't help themselves. All right, they say, delicious. All right, they love that stuff, man. Yeah, actually decided it's bi-weekly this week because I think he's cooking something crazy. I think so too. With how this chapter ended, I do expect something else actually big to happen. Especially considering that, again, she has these weapons now, these weapon hands. We didn't see what the tank can do just yet. Okay? So, like, the level of strength, I'm very curious of what she's going to be able to actually come up with. But we're cooking right now. When it comes to pacing and yada, 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 we're talking about, I think that's, like, not an issue at this point. I think we're in a situation where we're really going to start bumping things up even further now. So, I guess prediction-wise, I do expect Yoru to start showing off a bit more of her abilities, and look, maybe she can bring in other weapons that are around her, or even not even around her, but she can just bring other weapons to begin with and just see what they can do and how that can help her. Like, she can be a whole floating, like, arsenal. You know what I mean? Be like Gilgamesh, having like 1,000 blades behind her, but it's like 1,000 guns and other like weapons behind her. You know what I mean? Like, it can be a whole type of scenery. Also, real quick, just to talk about something real fast, the art of this chapter this week has been freaking fantastic. That's the other thing that this man actually started doing. His art is like stepped up here for this chapter, and it's been freaking amazing. Very good paneling that was going on here. The moment before she actually got her arms was a nice little moment here, seeing Dingy about to attack her. That was a good freaking panel. Like, you know what I mean? He's hitting it right now. He's freaking hitting it. God. So read it in hiatus between part 1 and 2. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, to be honest, that's all. I was one of those people that I got in later. I got in later into Chainsaw Man than what other people did. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was in that same bracket. But what I did that other people didn't do is I reread Chainsaw Man, and I also watch a lot of theory videos and things of that nature to have a better understanding of what's going on with the world of Chainsaw Man. Because I will admit, towards the end of part 1, I didn't understand everything. So because of that, I wanted to get information on this stuff. So I watched a lot of other videos and just try to understand the series a bit more, so that especially since I'm covering it, I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm not always going to be right or correct in my theories or what I'm thinking, right? But I want to be as correct as I possibly can. So that's what I ended up doing. And I feel like a lot of people, when you binge read something, you're not going to consume the material the same way if you're reading it on the weekly basis, because it allows you to sit there and actually simmer with the ideas of what's going on with the chapter, and it gives you a better structure and just understanding of what's going on, as opposed to if you were to read this quickly, you're gonna be skimping over things. That's just what happens, and that's why I don't ever really promote binge reading or binge watching, for that matter, because you're not getting the entire scope of what you're actually consuming. You're just consuming it, but you're not tasting it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Crack theory, don't take this seriously, but with the new control devil gone, what if Denji vomits up Makima? I mean, was it a whoa? Who sent that picture in my Discord? There's a picture that had Makima come out of Denji's body. I mean, well, see, the thing is, how would that work, actually, Desto? Unless she reforms herself inside his body, how would that work? Because he ate her in parts, basically, and cooked her up like she was a whole meal for a week. Like he meal prepped Makima. So I do wonder how that would actually work. I mean, it's not impossible. Well, okay, see, god dang it. Okay, so it is possible, but there's a few requirements that has to happen, right? First off, I hate to say this, Nayuta has to be dead. If Nayuta's dead, that can happen then, because that means that devil's back in hell. And then the other requirement is then for that devil to die, insta kill, and come back and maybe be reformed back in his stomach, maybe. But even then, that's just I don't know. I don't see that being the case here. I know it's a crack theory, but I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Like the stuff that you have to do to make that happen doesn't seem possible. Issue with Fujimoto is that it needs to be read nonstop. I remember hating the Makima fight, but loving it when I reread it. I mean, exactly right. That's what's so weird about it, because on one hand, reading on the weekly basis, you get a better understanding of like the manga itself, right? But with how he structures his manga, and this is a stylistic choice that he's doing. This is not something that he's just like kind of just being lazy about. No, this is a stylistic choice that he's kind of doing here. That's part of the reason why, which I never understood. People hated on the anime of Chainsaw Man. I don't understand that. The adaptation was near perfect for me, because it really felt into the thing that Fujimoto loves the most, which is movies. He loves movies, and how that was structured within the anime was very movie-like. So he let things on a slow burn, so things built up, and then bada boom, you get that crescendo. You know what I mean? And I think the manga kind of does in that same fashion, where it takes that time and that crescendo happens, and you're feeling it, right? Because that's kind of the whole point, where you have acts. You're hitting the acts as you're going here. You already know, like if you watch any Marvel movie for that matter, all Marvel movies start in a certain way where they built the story, there's an in-between, and then there's the climax. And that's kind of basically what's going on with how he kind of structures the entire manga for that matter. So, but it is an issue. It is an issue. Also, this chapter is 18 pages opposed to the regular 13. Hope we get longer chapters now too. That's actually true. Yeah, it is longer. Hold on. Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, 18. Hold on a minute. Whoa. I didn't even realize that. This sucker really is cooking. See, I like that. See, if he's going to, like I keep saying before, if he takes breaks like this, so long as he gives us 16, 18, 20 chapters, 20 pages, I mean, if he gives 20 pages, like, I love that. I'd eat that up. That's just more content. And it would feel like it's less of a drag in a way, because we're getting through like a lot more of the content that way. I've always said this, that the weekly format is a little hard to do, so why not go bi-weekly or even monthly for that matter? But as long as you're giving us enough meat on the bone, I'd read it. I'd read it. Yeah, let me set the picture. Okay, okay. I thought so. Woke. I thought so. I thought it was you, Woke. I thought it was you. As read chapter 1. That was dope. Hey, I'm glad you read it. You should continue it. It gets better. It gets better. I recommend it. Chainsaw Man is extremely fast paced, so it feels like it needs to be fast read and reread and to understand more. Yeah, I agree. It is one of those things where you just have to reread it. Like Chainsaw Man is not. It's like freaking Lupe Fiasco, right? If you listen to Lupe Fiasco, he's one of my favorite rappers. If you listen to him, you can't just listen to him one time and understand a story and understand his song. His song has layers behind it, so you have to listen to it again. And I feel like that's a testament in a way for what Fujimoto does. He has a way of writing that you have to go back and look at it and look at the subtleties, because it's not simple writing that he's doing, and that is something that's very impressive. I take Chainsaw Man is nothing for the average shonen reader, because you have to think, I'm a shonen enjoyer. No, team, that's hot take. I appreciate, because you're right though. There's a lot of shonen. Let me not hate on it, but I'm being honest here. When it comes to Demon Slayer, I've said this many times before. Demon Slayer is a very simple show, but it does the simplicity correctly, and there's nothing wrong with simplicity. You don't have to be super like thorough and have like amazing plot and little intricacies in the middle of it. You don't have to do all that. Sometimes simplicity works, but at the same time, there are going to be others that have more of a story, that have more meat on the bone, and it is something that you should take your time with. There's no reason to have to always have a story that's just simple. And it's nice to have stories like this that have you think more and have more conversations with. This is why I love doing. This is why we do Chainsaw Man streams. And this is the only manga I really do it for, outside of possibly One Piece. If I were to do One Piece, I'd be doing streams for it too at this point, because One Piece has so much theory crafting, right? But you know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of shonen that does this type of level of writing, and I appreciate that. Vom, like, what are you talking about? Vomilk, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you saying, mommy? I agree. That's why I think it's gonna Jump Plus was the best thing to. Yeah, I agree with that too. If Naruto is dead, then how would Denji come back? Power was needed last time, so that's what I'm saying, right? That's why I keep saying, like, I don't think Nayuta's dead. I can't see him getting. He'll never get out of that form if Nayuta's actually dead. I'm still subscribed to the theory that head we saw on that plate was not her, because there was no mole on her face. She has a recognizable mole on her face. So the fact that that wasn't there means that was not actually her. And it happened multiple times too. This wasn't like a one chapter panel, we saw her face and that was it. No, we saw it the next chapter and it was still the same thing. So the fact that he missed it twice tells me that this is more so an actual thing that's going on here. So I'm still thinking she's still alive here. I feel it. That chapter will break the fan base if it happened. Look, I'm ready for that though. It's the killing of Japanese children age as an enemy, and you're making the ultimate selfish decision as a mother. All proof of the chainsaw's birth, life. Again, that theory is very good, and that's why I also subscribe to that theory as well, because, I mean, again, the chainsaw devil in of itself seems kind of odd for what it does, basically, right? So there's obviously something else to it, and that birth devil type of situation, it makes too much sense. It makes too much sense, and what you're saying right here only subscribes to that theory even further. I feel like these are all the hints that are there for us, and we just gotta accept some of that and go with it. I really think that's what's going on here, so I feel you on that. It was very intentional that the current enemies are abusing the young, and those that created the right. After the story had Baron talk about what chainsaws are you. That's what I'm saying. And it's like it's in your face. So I'm really thinking this is what's going on here. Now, there could be a twist. There could be a twist. All right? So I don't know what that twist would be, but I do see that being the case here. So that theory, whoever had that first theory, whoever said that, you were cooking, you were smart, and I appreciate that, because I really think that's what's going on with Denji and what his power actually is. I think family is cooking some and maybe some really strong devil. I mean, again, we don't like I said, this goes back to the theory of like who she even has like control over. Like the Eternity Devil by itself is a very powerful devil, and she has control over that. So I wouldn't be surprised she has some other things in mind, or she's ready to actually start doing stuff. Also, I wouldn't be surprised she's also getting stronger as time goes on here as well. There's a lot of death destruction. I don't think people can always just eat food like that right now. So it's only gonna make her even stronger than she already is. So I do expect her to jump in here very soon. If it's not next week's chapter, I'm pretty sure next couple of chapters we will see Fami, and we'll see what she's gonna actually contribute to this whole situation. Somehow managed to be smart and dumb at the same time. That's not something you can say about most people. I know, right? That's so weird about it, because you would think that Denji as a character, right? On the surface level, you don't think he's that deep of a character, but he has so much layers that if you start really looking into it, and look, like the sexism by itself is just one layer of something that is there that happens to him, that he's actually abused by women. Like, you know what I mean? That's just one thing about his character and what's going on with him. And it goes deeper than that. Like, his character psychologically is just all kinds of messed up because of how his life has been, and it still is even. So it's like, I appreciate the level of the complexity that our main character even has. This is why, again, I like how Asa even is as a character. People sleep on Asa's character and don't realize how good of a character she actually is. That's why I'm hoping people see this, understand it, and start appreciating Asa Mitaka a little bit more. I liked her from the beginning, and look, I probably need to make a whole video on her because I freaking love her character. Free is another good example of simplicity works. It's nothing new, but yeah, exactly. It's what it does. It excels at it, and that's what I've been trying to say about any series for that matter. One Punch Man is another example of something that's pretty simple of a concept, but does very well with its concept. Like, you don't have to have all this complex stuff to make a good series. So long as you know how to tell your story and execute it correctly, people are going to enjoy it. That's all you got to do. Negatives with Uncle Kishibe. I was about to say, I don't know about that, but at the same time, I mean, you never know. She could. It's hard to say, because I want to see where Kishibe is even at right now. There's been a lot going. The fact that we have Chainsaw Man out and about right now. I know the Public Safety Division has quote unquote control over the situation right now, but it's like we need somebody stronger there to actually make sure that this is actually under control. It is not just like, oh, we're saying it is, but not really. You know what I mean? Like, we need somebody there, and I would love to see what just Kishibe's even doing right now. So I'll hold on to that. You know, it fucks up, and when he opens Vegeta up, it throws up the Death Devil. Interesting, Tav. I don't know. I mean, because, like, if that was the case, shouldn't that have affected death in some way? Because people still die in this world. So, but I mean, you can't, because, like, you can't really, like, erase. Well, can you? I don't think you can, right? I mean, you maybe ate a piece of her. But it's the same thing that what happened to freaking Yoru though. Yoru got eaten up a little bit by Denji as well, which is why she was weakened. So I don't know. I don't think that's the case here. I don't see that being the case. I don't see that. We need a family POV chapter. Yes, we need a family POV chapter. We need to see what's going on with Yoshida, and we need to see what's going on with Kishibe, because I feel like he is somebody that needs to pop up at some point. I don't know about Kobini. It'd be nice to see Kobini, but I mean, if we don't see her, we don't see her. I can see her not messing with the situation. His head being a fake is consistent with the fake Saw Man. Mechanisms to create copies does exist with the family. Exactly. Like, this is gonna be a whole entire plan even concocted, because we don't really know what alliances that Fami even has. Like, again, I always go back to what Asa was saying, like, oh, Fami's actually okay. She's good. She said nothing when that happened. So we don't know what she's actually thinking. You know what I mean? So it's one of those situations where we gotta wait and see, because there's so much to Fami that we really need to see what's going on with Fami. Don't come on my end. I take it back. No, it's all good, man. It's all good. People still die, so death could still be erased, but not inside. Yeah, but like I said, it's hard to say, man. And then it says, let me see. If Knight is dead, maybe the Blood Devil comes back, and that could bring him back. I mean, that's if the Blood Devil comes back in the same exact form, maybe. That's hard to say. I mean, I do see the Blood Devil coming back at some point. That's hard to say. Because there's no indication of her coming back like that, though. So I don't know if that's the case here. I mean, the world, like the gate between hell and earth is possible to make that happen. So I'll wait and see on that one. I won't subscribe to that just yet, but you'll never know. Yeah, people were expecting Chainsaw Man anime to be next ALT. Then it was and then that was, yeah, exactly. That was a detriment to, this is why I say all the time, we gotta start, not necessarily hampering our expectations, but we need to not have expectations that are so high that it's impossible to actually accept. It's part of the reason why I'm actually scared whenever this One Piece ends. Whenever One Piece ends, whenever freaking One Piece, the actual One Piece is actually like revealed, I hope it's satisfactory enough that people are gonna be okay with it. Because I feel like the One Piece itself is gonna be something that not everybody's gonna like, and I feel like it's gonna be a big discussion, a big torn between the goddamn fandoms. Because this is what happens all the time when something's overhyped to a high degree. Granted, I will say this. This is partly the fault of the, I guess, maybe the studio or whatever the, whoever's advertising it. Because they did hype Chainsaw Man up to be like the next big thing. And then when it wasn't, that's when it kind of hampered on it. But at the same time, I've always said this. Chainsaw Man gets good later on. To know, for any of the new people that are here right now, right? Chainsaw Man for me in the early stages was a hard read to do. Seeing Denji as a character, I didn't like any of the characters outside of Himeno, and then really think about Himeno, I don't really like her that much either. So it's like, I didn't like a lot of the characters going into Chainsaw Man. It took me a minute to really actually gravitate and really connect with these characters. So seeing season 1 with only 12 episodes, I knew for a fact, no matter what they would have done, even if it had the best animation in the world, even though the animation was pretty good, even if it had the best animation in the world, it wouldn't have done anything to change the perspective of what people thought of what Chainsaw Man is. Because people have simple minds at times, they're not going to look deeper within Denji, what his character actually is. So you're not going to see all that, right? There's a lot of surface level stuff that goes on. And people only see that surface level. So they're just going to look at this as a cringe type of anime. No matter what they could have done, no matter what, there's no studio in the world that could have made season 1 in a way to make it be like the next ALT or anything like that, because the beginning stage of Chainsaw Man, it can be a bit rough, but it is good. Don't get me wrong, because there's a lot of setup that happens in the beginning, but it is a bit rough. So that's the problem here. Yeah, Rize arc is when it starts to get actually pretty freaking good, and I feel like it's more in the simplistic terms that people can understand, and that would be the arc to get people actually into Chainsaw Man for real. But what we were doing, not the first 12 episodes was not gonna do it. Honestly, Chainsaw Man needed a runtime of like 25, 26 episodes. It needed something like, it needed a free run. Free run had like what, 26, 27 episodes? Like it needed something like that to maybe get that notoriety, that look that everybody's looking for. But it didn't get that. So yeah. Asa's a good character. I always liked her. Biggest problem is at the beginning that Asa was taking space from Denji. Asa is better written than Denji. Denji's more fun, but Asa is a better written character, and that's why I liked about this. And I immediately accepted her as a character and as the main character too, because there's a lot of instances of her that I kind of saw in myself a little bit. So I get it. He's very drunk on the beach. Last chapter was gonna be him walking up to women and missed calls. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Asa got a lot of heat at the beginning because she's too real and that involves being annoying at times. Yeah, exactly, right. But that's so weird. People always have that kind of like feeling towards like realism like that. Like she's a very realistic character, and there's a lot to her that I feel like a lot of the fandom can kind of like relate to. I like the fact that I can relate to Asa Mitaka. She's a very good character because of that. So I don't see why that was necessarily an issue outside of the fact that people just didn't want to accept her and wanted to see more Denji, even though Denji was not needed for that part of the story at that time. You know what I mean? So they just need to let it cook. They didn't let it cook. Also, let me see. Also, better character, but I do find Denji shonen type character more fun to watch. Reminds me of Hunter x Hunter switching MCs between Gon and Killua. Yeah. See, actually, yeah, Tab. Yeah, exactly that, right? it's kind of similar in that instance where you know, Gon is the main character, but Killua is also just as important in a way, and that's kind of it's kind of similar in that fact. I mean, shoot, you could even say the switch between Gon and Kurapika is more in line with that, because Kurapika is a whole character himself. But I feel like maybe not enough people watch Hunter x Hunter. That's first thing. Secondly, I don't think people are okay with like seeing a switch like that. And hopefully there was not no misogyny going on there too, because you know, this is a female character becoming the lead role. That could also be something that goes on there, but I don't know. Interesting to see how the movie's going to. I really hope the movie does well. I will be reviewing that, by the way. So whenever the movie does come out, also look back. The one shot also that's getting a movie, I will be reviewing that as well. So do subscribe, because I will be talking more about Chainsaw Man and anything when it comes to Fujimoto's works, because Fujimoto has some very, very good freaking one shots, and y'all need to, if you haven't read them, you should read them, because they're really good. It's a really complex character and one of the most realistic. Plus, dynamics with Yoru is chef's kiss. Exactly, Ting. Maybe they see each other like sisters or something. I just want one kiss. I want, bro. Look, Ting. I don't think the way Chainsaw Man is written, I don't think we're ever gonna see like a happy ending for any of the characters, man. I don't know. It's hard to say, man. The world in of itself for Chainsaw Man is not a happy place, okay? You live in a world of devils and you can die at any time. Like, I really just can't see that being the case, man. I'm sorry. I want that to be a happy ending. Maybe it could be a happy ending where even if she does die, right? She can still be happy, at least in that sense that she accomplished something that she wanted to do. Maybe this will be the one, like, hear me out. Let's say she is helping like Denji out, right? But remember, she has this moment where if anything's really important, she always trips. But what if finally, after all this time, she doesn't trip and actually succeeds in doing what she's trying to do? That would probably make her happy as heck, bro. Look, I'm just saying. That trope can finally be done, and that's when she probably dies, though. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean, guys. So also is the character which is out of place for a bombastic story like Chainsaw Man. She's a good character, but it felt like Kira from Death Note playing MC in Dragon Ball. I mean, I see the issue. I do see the issue, and I understand it. But at the same time, why not accept that though? Why not accept that? I mean, come on now. You're not gonna lie, I ain't like Denji. Man, that's what, bro, I was saying the same thing. Like, it took me a long time. Like, Denji was not my favorite character for a long time. I'll be honest with you. I like all these other characters before. Like, Kobeni, when she hit the scene, and, like, seeing, like, the spy, and just how bootleg she is, made me really like her, all right? Like, I started liking other characters outside of Denji. Like, that's what made me start, like, liking Aki more. And, you know what I mean? Like, it took me a long time to actually like Denji as a character, because boy, he is a lot, but I do understand, and I like the character now, all right? I like the character. Also, welcome in, Ahmed. Welcome in. I mean, Assassin arc would have been a masterpiece of anime. I mean, it could still be. You just gotta wait and see. It should be good. Also, really, let me see. So also the character. Okay, I read that already. All right. Look back. Getting an English release in October, by the way. Wait, what? Wait, it's getting an English release? Freaking sign me, bro. What? Okay. All right. See, if it comes here, if it's in a theater that I can watch, I'm going to it. I'm about to throw some money at it. God dang it. Fire Punch taught me not to wish for happy endings. Tav, you've experienced pain, is what you're telling me. You've experienced pain. Fire Punch is it's not for the easy soul here. All right. It's not for the lighthearted. I couldn't even finish Fire Punch. Fire Punch is a lot, bro. Oh god. I'm getting a whole Rize movie panel. Ooh, okay. I'll see if I can cover that. If there's a way to cover it, I'll try to cover that then. Email she trips before finishing off Denji, man. And she escaped. Oh man, please. Alright, it's not good. Tab, in the sense of Fire Punch has a happy ending. I mean, I don't know about that. My opinion on Denji changed in the theater chapter with Makima. Oh, really? I don't know. See, my thing is I don't know when my opinion actually changed for Denji is the thing here. I don't know what was the defining moment that made me, maybe, no? I mean, I started sympathizing him a bit more with when it came to the Rize arc. That's when I started sympathizing with Denji a bit more because I started to understand him who he is, right? But between that arc, so it gave me a like some insight and a way to start understanding him a bit more. I think it might be around the same time actually that I maybe I started liking him or at least tolerating his character more, maybe. In a sense, it was a weird as shit ending. Yeah, see, exactly. See, that's why I'm not gonna keep going with this, man. Look, they got to live together for eternity at the end, and they both forgot suffering. They both endured. Interesting. Still weird. It looks semi-happy. I mean, I get if it had a happy ending, then I get good. But I don't know. Look, I didn't finish Fire Punch. I don't think I can finish Fire Punch because that's a story. That's just a lot. That's a lot to deal with, man. Like, the themes in there, I didn't expect him to do all that. Like, Fujimoto has a very interesting mind, and I don't know if I can do all that. He's not just a horny motherfucker. He has a childhood trauma that took him his love from his mother and the girl. That's why he wants a girl. At the aquarium date, we saw that he never thought anything. Yeah, exactly, right? And again, that's why I keep saying, like, in part 2, weirdly enough, there's a lot of actual growth with his character. Like, we see, like, the Denji of part 1 isn't the same man in part 2. He is a whole different guy. And yeah, you're right. He wasn't really, like, horny in that sense. Now, don't get me wrong. He still has those moments, right? Because, you know, there's a disappointing line where it's like, I can't remember the exact situation, but, like, I think it was around the motorcycle scene. Like, Asa was going and she's like, can I at least still have her butt? Like, you know what I mean? He still has some horny antics, but I think that's more of like an antic type of thing, not like him being serious about what he's saying, right? He's not that kind of guy to actually do stuff like that in the first place. As we've seen actually, even early on with Denji, you know, he has some level of decency. You know what I mean? He's not just this horny, he's not like Meliodas. Yeah, if you've seen Seven Deadly Sins, he's not like Meliodas. That's like it's terrible. All right, so you know he's not that kind of level of character, and I feel like we as the fandom, because there's a lot of people that are in this fandom that don't understand that, and I feel like we need to take a step back and really deep dive back into Denji's character to understand that he's better than that. He's better than a lot of these horny main characters that we see in shonen, because it's terrible out here. All right, as happy as get for the manga like that. I mean, Ahmed, I guess you're right though. I guess you're right. Date doesn't count because it was Asa. I mean, she kind of is though. But no, look, we ain't gonna talk about that. Not yet. All right. You see, everybody wants Chainsaw Man, but nobody wants Denji. Is when he became one of my favorite MCs. I mean, that's a very good line though, and it's true. It's very true, and it's still true to this day, unfortunately. You ain't seen all the things in the manga yet. I don't know if I can though, Ahmed. That's what I'm saying. That's not easy. Yeah. That's the reason why Denji is horny. He doesn't understand the difference between affection and being. Yeah, he's in a way he's learning. He's like, you know what I mean. There's so much he doesn't know about the actual world. All he knows is just trying to survive because his parents died at an early age because he did what he did. But they died at a very early age, and he had to kind of survive out here. He doesn't know, just the subtleties of being normal in that sense. Get the meaning of the aquarium. I saw the penguin scene. Yeah. He's also not stupid. He's uneducated. Thank you. All right. He's just uneducated. He's not dumb. He's just. How do you go in the world being? He's like what 16 supposedly. In part 1. Supposedly, we don't know his actual age, but he grew up the entire time not going to school. None of that stuff. Remember, in the Rize arc, they talk about this. Like, oh, you never been to school before? You don't have any proper training or anything for that matter. He just knows how to survive. That's why he was selling his left testicle for some freaking money. Like, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't know anything else to do. Like, come on now. Has an interesting mind. One day in his mind, and you buy a rope is my theory. Look, man. Look. We're not even gonna jump into that because, like I said, like Fujimoto is a very interesting guy. He has me wondering sometimes about what his search history looks like, but we're not gonna talk about that. I don't know. He's always that's like a moron. True Denji is smart in terms of ingenuity. He just doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't go to school. He hasn't gone to school. Like, he's legit hasn't gone to school. Like, think about it. How smart would you be? How well would you even interact with other individuals, for that matter, if you've never been to school in any capacity? You know what I mean? Like, school is something that allows you to know how to interact and be in an environment with other people, right? It also supposed to allow you to learn how to, what not to do, what you should be doing. You know what I mean? Like there's things about this as you grow up, in your in school and everything, and there's about rules and know how to actually follow those rules. And you know what I mean? There's so much to it that Denji didn't get any of that. He grew up and doesn't know anything. So like, of course he's gonna mess up. Of course he's gonna not understand what he's even feeling. He's probably never even been in love, because again, all he had to do was try to survive. He was out here eating literal diapers. He was eating poop. Like, guys, like, remember that? Remember that? Like, oh God, it's so bad. Okay, it's so bad. God. You know, I'm not gonna give a shit about him. That broke me. I felt that though too. I felt that Tav. Actually saw that in the Chainsaw Man Church chapter, that he is not stupid. He even looked behind everything and said, "That's effing weird." Meanwhile, everyone else is just true. Because again, he's learned. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, he's smarter than you realize. At the end of the day, like he's this, and this is something that Aki should be proud of. Because Aki showed him a lot of the ways of how to kind of be proper and to, like, you know, just like it's just normal things about how you should be as an individual. Like, Aki did that for him. He was a really good big brother to him, and that's why I always like that interaction that they had, those interactions that they've had with each other. Like, Aki did a lot for him, and it really shows in part 2 a lot. Like, that's why he knows how to take care of Nayuta in a way. Like, I don't know. Don't get me emotional now. Yeah. He didn't have parents at school to hone his mind, make sense. He's so erratic, more survival instincts, and exactly. He just needs someone like Aki to help him. So, yeah, it was taken away from him, unfortunately. God freaking dang it! Hey, how you doing, Thumper? I see you over there. Why are you making that face, God? And she said he used to eat toilet paper. That reminded me of Tav, don't even, bro. You watched that? I've watched that too. Kotaro Lives Alone. That's such a great anime. I recommend it, by the way. If you haven't seen Kotaro Lives Alone, you should watch it. It's not too long of an anime, and it should still be on Netflix. It's on Netflix, so it has a dub too if you want to watch the dub. But it's a very good anime about this kid living by himself in this goddamn apartment, but he has people that kind of come over and then kind of watches over him in a way, and it's a very wholesome anime. Very wholesome anime. I love the anime. I'll get the best character now and forever. I'm sorry. Do you mean? What are you talking about, man? No, what? Himeno? That? No. He had to go for the series to continue. Unfortunately, yes. That's why it had to happen. But it still sucks. It still sucks. Okay. Wait, I did. CJ, how you doing though? My bad. Oh, well, you're just making the face. You're making the emotes, man. You're making the emotes. How you doing though, CJ? Aki was what Dinky needed the most. A guardian. Yeah, exactly. He actually played a lot bigger role than Power. Power was like, in a way, she was a sister to him in a way, right? That's what I'm saying. That's why these characters are so important for the situation. That's why the love that we do see, or the potential love that can happen between Asa and Denji, is also important as well, because this is one of those situations where maybe finally there's somebody that's not trying to use him. Because you think all the women that he has dealt with so far have been trying to use him in some ways. Even Yoru's technically kind of doing that, but Asa isn't trying that. That's not what she's trying to do. So, but I don't know, it is kind of complex now at this point, because, you know, what happened, and, you know, you guys know. You guys know, all right? The white sauce, God dang it. Paro was a friend, while Aki was kind of like a guardian mentor. Exactly. Aki's death is brilliant because it was showing that he wasn't gonna make it in the first year. Yeah, no, his death was so foreshadowed. It's disgusting how foreshadowed it was. Like, come on, bro. God dang. Shower scene with Power though. Stop it. All right, I think we've had enough of a conversation. We've been an hour and 22 minutes in. I will be back later though. I will be back later, not over on YouTube, but over on Twitch. So for those that are new here, I do stream on Twitch as well every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So later on, I will be over back on twitch.tv/Thabreakmaster, and I'm going to be reading some Kagurabachi. It's another new manga. It's like 47 chapters in, I think, somewhere around there. So it's still early on, and you can jump into it and join in on the conversation while we're over there on the Twitch side of things. So yeah, we're going to be reading that. Also, Also, if you liked the Don review / reaction that we did, me and Anna did over on the channel, we will be reading some more Don as well later today over on the on Twitch. So if you want to see the live reactions over there, you can be a part of the conversation, even potentially be a part of the videos that we'll be making with reading those chapters. So yeah, we got that. Real quick as well, y'all didn't tell me what y'all rating is. What is y'all ratings for this week's chapter of Chainsaw Man? For me, it's a 9 out of 10. Easily 9 out of 10. I love having chapters like this that allow me to have a lot of conversations with you guys like this. And this chapter really showcased a lot of that. Did some brought backs from like freaking part 1. It was doing a lot. It was doing a lot, and the art was really freaking good. So honestly, Fujimoto, take that week break. You did your goddamn thing. I appreciate you. So I like that. All right. 9.5, god dang. Also, yes, Ahmed, we'll do some karaoke as well. We're gonna sing some bangers, okay? We're gonna sing some bangers. Extra points for the tub scene. I mean, look, that floats your boat. Perspective and yeah, exactly. We've been needing Yoru's perspective for a long time, and we got that. Like, I appreciate this chapter so much because there's so much layers to this chapter, and he did an amazing job with the entirety of this. This was great, and the fact that Yoru now has the ability to freaking use the Gun Devil and the Tank Devil, which you haven't really seen the full capabilities of. I look forward to seeing what next chapter for Chainsaw Man. I'm hyped for it, and I love the feeling of being hyped for Chainsaw Man. So I look forward to seeing what's about to happen next. Okay, let me try to use him in the beginning, but you shouldn't. Yeah, exactly, Tab. Exactly. I mean, cause look, man, it's talking about how great because Chainsaw Man freaking kind of goated, man. When it gets good, it gets really good. You need your perspective, and finally got him see you. So love when chapters make you rethink previous parts of the story, and it's definitely exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I love the fact that it did that, and I don't know. Hopefully, Fujimoto can keep this up, because this is what peak Chainsaw Man looks like. So I'm hoping he keeps this up. Okay, guys. Yeah, I see you. Something more how you're and also feel and think. I mean, hopefully we do get more insight within them, but for what we got, it was pretty freaking good. I'll give it props because it was a long time coming for this to be shown for us. So I'll take it. All right, guys. If you guys real quick, can y'all like this stream? It helps with the algorithm to be able to push this stuff out to more people so we can talk more about Chainsaw Man, have more conversations, and just overall fanboy over freaking Chainsaw Man, you know, because Chainsaw Man is good. When it's good, it's really good. So be sure to like it. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because I do this anytime Chainsaw Man comes out, whether it's be on the week-to-week basis, bi-weekly. Whenever Chainsaw Man is available, I will be here streaming it live to you guys. All right. So guys, drink goddamn water, take goddamn vitamins, be there for Kagurabachi later. It'll be in the next 3 hours or so. In the next 3 hours, no. Yeah, 3 hours. We'll be over on twitch.tv/Thabreakmaster, reading some Kagurabachi and Don. So hopefully I'll see you guys all there. All right, guys. Until then, people. Ooh, break out.